episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Belobradic.
And I'm Amelia Belobradic. And today, whether or not people still buy or wear t-shirts in winter, and why t-shirts are still strong sellers even when the temperature drops.
Yeah, we're asking that question because if you live anywhere where the seasons change, basically, where it starts to get cold,
any kind of cold,
around this time of year, suddenly you notice that all the stores, it's pretty hard to find t-shirts. It's all sweatshirts and hoodies and sweaters and jackets.
Actually, that's such a good point.
And all that sort of stuff. So people wonder, does anyone buy t-shirts anymore in the winter? I mean, it's different if you live in Florida, although you can still get away with hoodies at that time of year because it gets cooler at nights and mornings.
Well,
but
I think people who live in the South have kind of a different interpretation of what winter clothing is.
yes. So the truth is that the humble t-shirt is a year-round seller. We actually went back and started looking at our sales stats, and definitely you are not alone if you're in the north or anywhere where it gets cold and you are still buying t-shirts at this time of year or even into December and January. And it's great news for us because, you know, we sell travel-inspired shirts. So there are four main reasons.
I just kind of feel like a t-shirt is the basic staple in any wardrobe.
Well, let's get into it. There's four reasons why you can still feel confident buying a t-shirt right now, even if you live in anywhere north.
Well, let's get into the first one, layering.
Yeah.
And it depends on the type of t-shirt, but it really can work for any t-shirt at any style, because even in cold climates, t-shirts are still the foundation of a ton of different winter outfits. They're comfortable. Usually they're more breathable, so they can fit under bigger things like flannels, cardigans, jackets, things like those. And many people sort of change up their basics at the start of the cold season.
And this one is definitely me. And a perfect example is, especially into December, I mean, I wear t-shirts all year round.
Yes.
And I would still buy them all year round. This one, layering, if you think about, let's say, the holidays, Christmas time, you go to someone's house, and even if it's freezing out, let's say it's below zero, it's snowing, and you're bundled up, you get in there and they got the fire going and it's so hot. I like to take everything, all those layers off, and I'm perfectly comfortable in my t-shirt. I don't get cold. I know some people do. They still want those arms covered. They wear a hoodie or sweatshirt or sweater. But for me, this is a perfect example. Layering in winter, always a t-shirt, always, always, always.
Yeah. And, you know, I think especially when I was little, I would never go out with just one layer. Like I would always have to have a long sleeve and then a t-shirt underneath for this very reason. And I think you can buy winter t-shirts. There's so many cute Christmas or holiday or wintry graphics, especially for like people who do snow sports like skiing, snowboarding. There's so many cute winter t-shirts that go along with that people will wear on the hill. And I see people snowboarding down the hill in t-shirts because they get too hot in their jackets and they've layered and they take it off.
Are you looking in a mirror? Because I see you as the only one doing that.
I've seen plenty of other people also participating in this very well-known trend, but that's just me.
All right, let's use what you just said. It's a perfect segue into reason number 2 why people buy t-shirts at this time of year and into the winter, or even into January. Because it is travel season. It's escape season.
When is it not
it's
travel
getaway.
season?
You know, you talked about, that's true.
It's always travel season when I have a working browser.
But for t-shirts in particular, you talked about Christmas seasonal, but people still buy our tropical and our surfing shirts and our getaway vibe, gear up, get lost, palm tree shirts.
Well, yeah, because if I'm going to
Hawaii
place, over winter break, I'm not going to pull up in my snow-covered t-shirt. No. Who do I think that I am? I'm going to go surfing.
Exactly. Even if it's a cozy cabin. Again, you're going to be hot in the cabin. So definitely travel season, people buy t-shirts all winter long. So you go to those stores and they don't have them. You come to 1923mainstreet.com. The beauty of our online stores, and really any online store, we don't have to worry about space. We don't have inventory. We don't have to push all the hoodies to the side. If you go on a Disney vacation, what happens in the winter when it gets cold? They pull out the racks of hoodies and stuff.
I love it. Do you know how many videos I've seen of people being like, oh no, I'm cold at Disney. Now I have to go buy a sweater.
Yeah, and the hoodie racks, they roll out because they don't keep them out either because they don't have the space. But
consumerism.
We do. All right. Reason number 3, why people buy
My
t-shirts in
favorite,
winter?
holiday gifting magic.
That's right. Graphic t-shirts, they're one of the easiest, most personal, and most fun things to give because you can look around and find something that really, if you know the person well enough, that they'll really like or that really speaks to them. So,
and
our sales spike at this time of year because of that.
Well, I was going to say every year I make the decision with myself that I'm not going to buy any more graphic t-shirts or graphic hoodies because I just want to focus on the basics. And then every year I have a show that I like or something that's interesting to me or a sport that I want to try. And I end up accumulating through my own purchasing power and also my friends getting me gifts that I love, several more of each thing. And I love and wear all of them. So the moral of the story is graphic t-shirts are always a good idea.
And really number 4, which we sort of talked about anyway, but to sum it up in a category is that really online shopping, it defies seasonality. There is no season because we are not brick and mortar stores that rotate stock.
Well,
we have this stuff all year round.
Because I can plan ahead then. If I'm shopping in November and I'm like, oh, that's a really cute t-shirt, let me just buy it for my vacation in March, or I can buy it for next summer, unless I'm, like I'm a kid where I'm growing a lot. If I'm going to stay the same, I'll buy it and be prepared, because then me personally, when it comes to that season, I'm like, oh my goodness, a gift. Look at this free t-shirt. I bought this in, December. This doesn't count. This is a free gift for myself.
Yeah. And
it's a really beautiful thing.
The numbers back it up as we close this episode out. So holiday apparel sales surge. Again, in Canada alone, clothing retail sales really rise through December, both men's and women's and unisex. And they showed year-over-year gains, always in the U.S., Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Well, yeah.
I mean, these are the biggest apparel shopping days of the year. So,
makes sense.
I mean, sales went over $10 billion last year.
Oh,
and apparel is always among the top-selling categories.
Of course.
And generally, e-commerce growth. There's Shopify platforms, all these shops, they always have record-breaking holiday sales. And a lot of the independent clothing brands like ours are really energized at this time of year.
I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that 40% of yearly sales happen around the holiday season.
Yeah, for certain things.
I don't know whether or not that's true, but I've
true.
heard that statistic before, and I was like, that's kind of crazy.
We are more even. Obviously, there's a spike, but not that much, which is great. We have a really thank you to all of you who shop 1923 Main Street, because it's pretty even all year round. And this goes to the final point, t-shirt market resilience, that the global t-shirt segment continues to grow every year, and it's consistent. I
think you're always going to have a market for t-shirts.
Exactly.
Like, I think they're always going to be there, and in every style video I watch, and I watch a lot of them, there's usually a t-shirt incorporated in some way, shape, or form. So why not purchase it when you get the chance?
So there you go. We will wrap it up by saying, if you were sitting on the fence wondering, I don't know, should I buy? Is it weird to buy a t-shirt?
I say buy it.
Definitely
I always
not.
say buy it.
There are so many reasons why. Check out the blog post for this story at 1923mainstreet.com, where we go into a lot more detail about who is buying t-shirts in the winter and how shoppers can really style their t-shirts in the wintertime as well.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of great looks that might differ from your summer styles.
Exactly. And an example I gave earlier is just one of them. All right, everyone. Thanks as always for listening. Follow along on social media at 1923 Main Street. Of course, as we said, visit the shop at 1923mainstreet.com. We will see you again next week. And as always, roam freely and wear a t-shirt.
Bye-bye.